Well, now to the flooding in southwestern Colorado. We have just learned within the hour that people evacuated in Pagosa Springs because of the flooding can begin returning home in just about an hour at 6 o'clock. The waters do remain high after days of heavy rainfall there. However, the sheriff's office says it is safe enough to return home for evacuees. Tonight, many closures do remain in place, which includes a stretch of Wolf Creek Pass.
And it's simply not safe to drive over right now because of all that water, and we can expect more rain later this week. This chart shows just how much water is flowing through the San Juan River at Pagosa Springs. It shows the water per cubic feet per second from the United States Geological Survey. You don't have to understand the science behind this to understand that that is nearly off the charts. The governor says the state can help after declaring an emergency over the weekend.
We've taken state actions like waiving filing deadlines for different forms for small businesses, for taxes, giving everybody for 20,000 people that are affected by the floods. We're also actively engaged in surveillance, drones, and aerial resources like helicopters that are available to start surveying the damage.
The areas impacted by the flooding, Vallecito and Pagosa Springs, are located between Alamosa and Durango. Your reporter Sarah Evacuations has been there since yesterday and shares what people are watching.
This trail of debris is what's left after the San Juan River reached close to 13 feet this morning. Now, as levels start to lower from that record rate, officials are keeping a close eye. In the light of day, debris lined walkways. A broken sewage pipe poured into the San Juan River, and locals couldn't help but look on in awe.
We came down here this morning to see the river, and it's definitely way higher than I think I've ever seen it.
Don Wood was born and raised in Pagosa Springs. His uncle in the evacuation zone.
We called him. We told him if you needed a place to stay or anything, give us a call. Always worry about, your neighbors in a small town like this. You always do. But they all seem to be evacuating where they need to.
Overnight, emergency crews used infrared drones to monitor rising water levels, temporarily closing the main bridge in town and keeping schools closed Monday.
It's kind of an all hands on deck right now.
Town manager David Harris is urging people to stay away from the river, reporting some local businesses and homes retained water.
We're at that point where we're doing triage. We're trying to manage what we can, and once the river subsides, we'll be able to address recovery efforts.
No injuries have been reported, and Davis says there's no major structural damage to homes right now, but it was close.
We got a lot more water coming down the pipe, or down the system, if you will, than what we had planned for, but I think we really dodged the bullet on this one.
And as the river recedes, the long cleanup process begins.
Great crew and great group of people in this community. We'll weather this storm just fine.
As the rain continues to fall, Pagosa Springs expects this to be one of their biggest floods in recorded history, watching everything closely. And as the river continues to flow, a lot of tourists can't help but stand under here and take a look. Reporting in Pagosa Springs, Sarah Evacuations, covering Colorado First.
And your reporter in the mountains, Spencer Wilson, has been reporting on the flooding near Vallecito. People living in 400 homes did have to evacuate, but there is hope that everyone will get to go home by Thursday morning. Some homeowners may be allowed to be escorted in tomorrow in order to get important medications as well as other necessities. And there is still more rain ahead.
First Alert meteorologist Joe Rook takes a look at the rain totals so far.
What an impressive last few days. We're not done quite yet for the western slope and the southwestern corner. What I've done, I plotted our rain totals Friday to Tuesday, 4 to about 7 inches of rain we've picked up on. Vallecito, for example, 7.05 inches. Context for you, they average 20 to 21 inches a year. We got a third of that in this short window. That's the abnormal amount of moisture within the atmosphere we've picked up on. But closer to home, everything's fluid. Think of it all working together as ingredients in the atmosphere. Long duration all summer, we've been telling you, severe to extreme drought conditions, they continue to persist. You have abnormal amounts of moisture, you have a very dry ground. Well, these ingredients lead to soil becoming hard. Think of it almost like pavement. It's what it's more similar to. You can't absorb as much water, so you get additional runoff. Now, you combine that with our steep mountainous terrain on the western slope, the southwest corner of the San Juans, as well as the rocky terrain. That puts even more water funneled into the valleys and one location. While the rain is weakening for tonight through midnight, we will still be watching for a flood watch that does remain in effect, from the runoff coming downstream, but also a bit of additional rain. Now, Dave will be coming up in just a bit. We'll time out all the specifics you can expect.